Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you have to stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. A time when you must stop waiting for others to validate your worth, because the truth is, some people will never see the value you bring, no matter how brightly you shine. Let's make something very clear right now. Your worth is not up for debate. It is not determined by who accepts you or who rejects you. It is not defined by how many times someone chooses you, stays with you, or praises you. You were born worthy. You were born enough. And anyone who fails to see that isn't blind. They're just not for you. Too many of us spend years chasing people who are never meant to stay. We bend, we break, we shrink ourselves, hoping that if we are just a little quieter, a little more forgiving, a little more accommodating, maybe then they love us right. But that cycle always ends the same. You empty yourself trying to fill someone who was never ready to receive the love you give so freely. Why? Because somewhere along the way we were taught that love has to be earned, that we need to prove ourselves worthy of affection, of respect, of time. But that is a lie. You never have to beg someone to treat you right. You never have to chase someone to stay in your life. Real love, genuine, grounded, respectful love will never put you in a position where you have to compromise your dignity to keep it. Ladies and gentlemen, the most powerful move you can make is not fighting harder to be seen. It's walking away when you are not. It's having the courage to say, I know what I bring to the table and I refuse to sit at one where I am not respected. It's choosing peace over chaos, self-respect over repeated disappointment. It's saying goodbye to the people who only show up when it's convenient for them. And I know walking away isn't easy. It hurts. It breaks your heart. You question if you're giving up too soon, if maybe they'll change, if maybe you're asking for too much. But deep down, you already know the truth. You've just been ignoring it because facing it would mean letting go. But hear me clearly. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is growth. Letting go is clarity. Letting go is saying to the world, I am no longer available for anything that costs me my peace. So if you've been holding on to someone who doesn't see your worth, this message is for you, not to make you bitter, but to make you better. Not to turn your heart cold, but to help you protect it. Because you don't have to keep settling for almost love, broken promises, or one-sided relationships. You are worthy, you are enough. And if they don't see that, it's time to walk away. Stop begging for love and respect. There comes a moment in life when you realize that no matter how good you are, how loyal, how patient, how loving, you can't make someone value you if they don't know how. You can't force someone to recognize your worth when they're too blind, too distracted, or too selfish to see it. It's time to stop begging for love and respect. You were never meant to chase affection. You were never designed to fight for a seat at someone's table when you bring the whole feast. If they don't see your worth, stop trying to make them. Because the more you try to prove yourself to someone who refuses to understand your value, the more you lose pieces of who you truly are. You are not here to convince anyone to treat you right. You are not here to shrink your voice, your needs, or your standards just to make someone else comfortable. You are not here to be an option in someone's life while you make them a priority in yours. Love should never come with conditions that ask you to betray your self-respect. Real love doesn't demand that you sacrifice your dignity. So many people settle. They settle for crumbs, hoping one day they'll get the whole loaf. They settle for attention, mistaking it for love. They settle for someone who occasionally shows up because they fear walking alone. But let me remind you, walking alone is better than being with someone who makes you feel alone. You deserve consistency. You deserve honesty. You deserve someone who sees you, hears you, respects you, and shows up for you, not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's hard. Don't spend your life waiting for people to realize what they had after you're gone. Don't spend your days trying to win over someone whose heart was never ready to receive you in the first place. The more you try to make them see your worth, the more you rob yourself of peace. And peace is priceless. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you bring to the table. You have to believe that you are worthy, even if nobody else says it. Because the moment you recognize your own value, everything changes. You stop chasing people who were never meant to stay. You stop tolerating disrespect disguised as love. You stop apologizing for being too much or not enough. You realize you are always enough. Let them go, let them doubt you, let them walk away, but don't you dare forget who you are. You're not asking for too much, you've just been asking the wrong person. If they don't see your worth, don't wait for them to. Walk away, and don't look back. Walk away is a statement of strength. Walking away is not weakness, it's not giving up, it's not bitterness. Walking away is strength. It's a declaration that you will no longer settle for less than you deserve. It's easy to stay, it's easy to tolerate being overlooked. It's easy to convince yourself that maybe if you try a little harder, love a little deeper, give a little more, they'll finally see your value. But how many times have you done that already? How many times have you watered dead plants, hoping they'd bloom? There is power in choosing peace over chaos. There is strength in choosing your mental and emotional health over the endless cycle of disappointment. Walking away isn't about punishing the other person, it's about liberating yourself. It takes courage to say, I deserve better, and actually mean it. It takes self-respect to stop answering calls that only come when you're needed. It takes strength to pull your heart away from people who have made a habit of mistreating it. But hear me, it is better to walk away in truth than stay in denial. Let them think what they want. Let them label you as cold, heartless, or ungrateful. The same people who call you selfish for leaving are often the ones who benefited most from you not knowing your worth. Don't let their opinions trap you in a situation that drains your soul. Walking away doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you finally started caring about yourself. You spent so long being the one who checked in, the one who forgave again and again, the one who held onto the potential of who someone could be instead of seeing the reality of who they were. But now, it's time to let go of potential and embrace peace. You deserve relationships that feel safe, not like a battlefield. You deserve conversations that heal, not arguments that scar. You deserve effort, not excuses. Respect, not breadcrumbs of attention. You deserve love that shows up for you daily, not love that disappears when it's no longer convenient. The truth is, not everyone you lose is a loss. Some people are a lesson. Some people were placed in your life to teach you how to stand up for yourself, how to say no, how to set boundaries, and how to walk away. So when you finally take that step, when you choose your peace, your worth, your joy, don't look back with regret. Look ahead with clarity. Because the moment you walk away from what's breaking you, you begin to make space for what will build you. You are not walking away from love, you're walking towards the kind of love that starts with you, the kind of love that reminds you you never needed to prove your worth to someone who truly saw it from the beginning. Walk away and don't apologize for choosing you. Choose yourself and watch your life change. There is a moment when everything changes, not because someone finally saw your worth, but because you did. The most powerful decision you will ever make is to choose yourself. Not out of pride, not out of revenge, not out of bitterness, but out of deep self-love and understanding that you are no longer available for people who make you feel like you are too much or not enough. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it's survival, it's freedom, it's healing. You've spent so much of your life giving, pleasing, compromising, hoping that if you just loved harder, stayed longer, or forgave faster, someone would finally treat you right. But let's be honest, you were losing yourself trying to save someone who didn't care if they lost you. Enough is enough. Choosing yourself means you stop negotiating your value. You stop second-guessing your intuition. You stop betraying your standards just to be loved. You stop lowering your volume just to keep someone else comfortable. You stop settling for almost relationships and someday promises. When you finally choose yourself, you start to glow differently. You start walking differently. You start speaking with authority and living with purpose. You stop trying to be accepted by those who never truly understood you. You stop asking, why don't they love me the way I deserve, and start declaring, I love me enough to walk away. And that right there is when your life begins to shift. You attract better, you attract peace, you attract respect, not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. You finally stopped begging for a seat at the table and decided to build your own. Let them wonder why you stopped calling. Let them miss your presence. Let them sit in the silence they once gave you. That's not cruelty. That's clarity. Because when someone doesn't see your worth, your silence will speak louder than any argument ever could. You've got dreams to chase, a future to build, a heart to heal. You don't have time to waste on people who treat you like an option while you treat them like a priority. You don't have time for energy drainers, gaslighters, users, or manipulators. You've done enough, you've given enough. Now it's time to give that same love and loyalty back to yourself. The right people, those meant for you, won't question your worth. They won't ask you to prove it. They'll recognize it, they'll cherish it, they'll match your energy, not drain it. But to meet those people, you have to first create space by walking away from those who never deserved a front row seat in your life. So stand tall, walk away with your dignity intact, and never forget this truth. You were never asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong person. Now go choose yourself and watch your whole life rise. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one truth you must take away from everything you've heard, let it be this. Your value is not up for discussion, negotiation, or compromise. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to beg for respect. You don't need to chase anyone who is too blind to recognize the light you carry within you. Choosing yourself isn't a moment of rebellion, it's a moment of rebirth. It's the day you stop looking for permission to matter. It's the moment you stop shrinking for others' comfort and begin expanding into your full potential. Because the greatest transformation doesn't happen when others finally treat you right. You are not too much. You're not asking for the impossible. You're not hard to love. You are simply no longer available for relationships that demand you settle, silence your truth, or lower your standards to make others feel comfortable. And that, my friend, is power. That is freedom. That is growth. We live in a world where people often wear masks, pretending, performing, manipulating, but you have the courage to be real. You have the courage to walk away from what doesn't serve you. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's not pride, that's peace. Let this be the chapter where you no longer make excuses for people who can't show up. Let this be the season where you stop clinging to the idea of what someone could be and start embracing the reality of what they are. Some people aren't meant to stay. Some are just there to teach you what you must stop tolerating. When you stop begging and start believing, everything changes. You begin to attract what you deserve. You begin to breathe deeper, sleep better, love wiser, and live louder. Not because you found someone new, but because you finally came home to you. So today, close the door on people who make you feel less than. Lock it. Don't just walk away, walk forward. Don't just move on, move up. Because the next chapter of your life doesn't need old pain wearing new faces. It needs you fully healed, fully aware, and fully committed to never settling again. And when the doubt creeps in, because it will, remind yourself of this. Walking away isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's not about giving up on love, it's about giving yourself the kind of love you've always been willing to give others. The kind of love that says, I see you, I honor you. Final words. So choose yourself, even if your voice shakes. Even if your heart aches, even if it means walking alone for a while, because the right people will never need you to dim your light. They'll rise with you, they'll respect you, they'll love you with the same depth, consistency, and truth you've always given. You are not too much, you are just enough. For the right hearts, now go, choose yourself, and watch your whole world rise.